Hello guys, and welcome back to a new video. This is going to be a short one, but it could have a tremendous effect in your trading journey. It could steer you and guide you toward profitability and finding consistency in these markets. So if you are a beginner trader or a trader with no strategy or no model or no edge in these markets, if you are struggling, this video is going to be a great help for you. So I'm going to show you how I wasted many months in my trading journey chasing the wrong thing or trying to answer the wrong question, and how I was able to fix that and shift my focus toward answering the right question and eventually finding my edge and then consistency in these markets. So make sure to watch till the end and don't forget to hit that like button if you find any value in my videos. Alright, so now let's get started. When I started taking trading seriously, right, and I started putting the hours, I was up to 10 hours on a daily basis. And at that time, I started following ICT, studying the 2022 mentorship, right? Most of you know that mentorship, right? And before we start, this is not about the ICT system, right? The problem that I had in my beginning of my trading journey, all new traders face, all right? So this is not exclusive to ICT traders. So I started following the 2022 mentorship, right? It is an excellent mentorship, easy to follow. It has a simple model, right? Which is that market structure shift, right? And that fair value gap, and of course with context. I started watching that mentorship, and if you remember, if you watch that mentorship, the first 5 videos, ICT was talking a lot about the entry model, right? That market structure shift and that fair value gap and the displacement. And he showed a lot of examples on the first 5 videos. So my mind was really focused on that entry pattern, right? When he was showing charts, I was only looking for that pattern right there. And I believe that he did that on purpose. He wanted to filter out the lazy people. So he showed the entry model first. And then on the rest of the videos, he talked about liquidity, talked about market structure, right? The important things and how to build your trade idea. But on the first 5 videos, I was so focused on the entry model right there. And we as humans, we tend to seek patterns, right? Especially in something like trading. So humans evolved to detect patterns in nature, like for survival, like recognizing the behavior of animals, weather changes, or maybe other threats. So this instinct extends also to modern fields like trading. So when you open the chart, all our focus is on detecting patterns in price, recurring patterns. So I wouldn't call this a flow, but it doesn't work in the market. The market is something else. So based on that, although I continue with watching the rest of the mentorship, but all of my focus was on finding the perfect entry model. All my eyes was seeing is that entry pattern right there. So all my backtesting, all my tape reading, all my journaling was based on finding the perfect entry model. What is the perfect entry model? This question that I was trying to answer for months and months of studying. So I had like a big journal with a lot of columns, right? Each column has a parameter. For example, like in that market structure shift, in that 2022 model, was there a breaker block, or is there a fair value gap or an order block, right? Did we sweep liquidity before that? What about the break of structure? Did it happen with a body closure or just a wick above that high? What about the high? What type of high did we broke or low if we aren't bearish, right? What about the displacement? Was it energetic or was it a weak displacement? So all of these that I mentioned had a separate column in my journal. Also, like, was there SMT, right? So I was only focusing on entry model. I was so zoomed in that I couldn't see anything else but the entry pattern. And I also took it further, like I was measuring the displacement leg. So for example, your USD, I wasn't taking trades above 8 pips. I'm sorry, I wasn't taking trades when the displacement was below 8 pips, right? So I was journaling that. When I was looking for hindsight examples, I was journaling the measurements of the displacement leg, right? 8 pips, 9 pips, 10 pips. When I was trading the US 500, I was also measuring those displacement legs. And the problem is, I spent a lot of months in that and I didn't find any conclusive result. Sometimes in backtesting, I'm doing great. I'm taking consistent winners, and then suddenly everything changes and now I'm taking a lot of losses. The problem is that those losses has the perfect entry pattern based on my journal. It has the displacement leg above 8 pips. It has the SMT, the breaker block, the fair value gap, right? We broke above a high with body closure. So the whole package was there, but I was still taking multiple losses in a row. So you see, the problem here is I couldn't refine anything above that on the entry pattern, right? I analyzed every single parameter and I couldn't do any better. So I didn't know what to write in my journal regarding that loss. I couldn't explain those many losses, right? And to prove to you that this is not only based on ICT traders or SMC, if you go to YouTube and write a trading strategy, right? A video explaining a certain trading strategy, you will notice that 90% of the videos are focusing only on the entry pattern. And I promise you that most of these videos has a strategy that don't work. It might work for some week or two, right? On a certain market conditions, rare market conditions, and then it will stop working. And the problem is that that strategy shows you how to enter the entry pattern rather than how to read price or how price moves. And this is where it clicked for me. When I stopped focusing on the entry pattern and I completely discarded my trading journal, it had like 250 or I don't know, 270 trade. I deleted all of that and I started focusing on how price moves. So I shifted my focus on what is the perfect pattern, what is the perfect entry pattern, to how price moves. So I started studying concepts like liquidity, like sweeps on highs or sweeps on lows, like imbalances, or how price moves when it hits a higher time frame area. What happens on the lower time frame? When price moves from a higher time frame area to another higher time frame area, what is the recurring signatures in price in the lower time frame, right? Of course, at first, I really had a lot of difficulties because now I don't really have something to journal, right? This is not like, because the difference on reading price, reading how price moves, and studying an entry pattern has like a set of fixed parameters, but reading how price moves, it's completely different. It's like you are training your eyes on raw data. So at first you cannot comprehend what's going on, but with repetition, with months of studying those things, how price moves from point A to point B, right? And how the time frames works together, how the higher time frame relates to the lower time frame below it, what happens when price rate a certain high or a certain low, what happens then, right? So when I started studying these things, I felt like I opened the door and now I'm seeing the whole room. So previously I was looking to the room through the keyhole on the door, but after I shifted my focus to how price moves, I felt like I opened the door and now I'm seeing everything, right? And with time, with repetition, with putting the work every day on solely focusing on that question, answering that question, the importance or the significance of the entry model was decreasing day by day. I found myself that I'm taking entries not because I saw a certain pattern in price in the lower time frames, but of my understanding of price or of where it might go, right? So we'll realize that price doesn't move because there is order block or there is a breaker block or there is that market structure shift. So if price wants to move to the upside, it will break every single bearish PDR range in its way. It will break every single bearish point of interest, whatever you are trading, right? It will break it and it will travel to the upside. So by time, I was able to explain my losses and also explain my winners, right? I started studying my losses and I was getting better and better with each trade, with each losing trade. And now I'm understanding exactly why I took those losses, right? It doesn't mean that I'm gonna eliminate all of my losses, right? There'll still be losses that you can't really avoid, but still my confidence leveled up, my confidence increased. And even when I switched to the DTFX system recently, right, I found it easier to study it because now I know which things to focus on, right? I see a lot of traders, both ICT and DTFX. For ICT traders, chase that market structure shift, right? That breaker block. For DTFX traders, they chase that 50% entry. I see it all the time in my Twitter timeline. To look for random zones to take the entry from the 50% without understanding the logic and what's going on above them on the higher time frame and also on that same time frame, because they are too zoomed in. So my advice to you guys, if you still didn't find your model yet, if you're still struggling with trading and you feel like your trading problems isn't psychological but more of technical, you can't call moves, you can't explain moves. So I want you to forget all about entries, taking trades, where to put your stop loss, and focus on how price moves. When you start studying how price moves, when you start studying each leg, why it happened, right? Those things like stop loss placement, like take profits levels, like where to enter, it will come to you naturally and you will be able to develop your own model based on logic, and you will have confidence with that it will deliver, right? I believe that this is the end of this video, right? Nothing technical in here, but this is something I wasted a lot of months during my time when I was starting up, right? So I wanted to make this video to maybe help you to shorten and avoid that route, right? So I try to put you in the right path from the first months of your trading journey. So if you have any questions, DM me in my Twitter account or leave a comment down below and I will answer you as soon as I can. Now happy trading and good luck.